Welcome into the Northeast Golf Invitational here at the Norfolk Country Club. Irvin Doman and Connor Luby with me.
Heck yeah, we're getting ready here. It's the 2022 Invitational. We have 5 schools competing today. We'll give a little bit of a rundown and a pregame of what's going on for today's action.
Absolutely, and we're going to start with your home team here with Northeast. They've been looking very solid on the year. I do believe last time we checked they were ranked 11th in NJCAA competition.
Division 2, yeah.
So let's just take a peek at their most recent kind of events here. They had the Fremont Golf Club. They were at the Fremont Golf Club for the Midland Invite, and they finished second, only to Midland. So,
Okay.
And Midland is a team here today, so we'll see how they compete on a home golf course for Northeast here. And then they had the Hell at the Hills and Hillcrest in Lincoln, and they finished first there as a team. Yeah. So the team has been very successful. They have a lot of good golfers. Overall thoughts on Northeast so far?
This team is just really successful. We've seen it throughout the year. They had the fall season this year as well. They got a win here during that, and they played against some of the other community colleges in the Iowa and Nebraska area. We're going to see a couple of them today as well, with Central and Southeastern coming to town. But it's nice to see Midland here as well, especially since we have like-minded opponents, been out to their golf course, played them already. It's nice to see here at the home course.
Absolutely, and we'll move on to the next team here. We got CCC, the Raiders, and looks like they've been dealing with some cancellations on their schedule. Let's see, they just got done at the Hastings Invitational. Now they're here at Northeast. No results up here for their schedule for the Hastings Invitational, but looking at some of the things that they've had, they had a 5th place finish at their own CCC Invitational, and so I guess our first look at really all these golf teams today, we've kind of seen comparison scores, but we'll have to see how the CCC looks today.
Yeah, a lot of these community colleges, they go up against the NAIA schools in the area. There's a lot of them. So you have your, I saw on there the Hastings tournament that that was one of them that got canceled. But they were out in the York tournament in York, Nebraska, and then their home tournament. So this competition in the local community college level is pretty strong here. We'll take a look at Midland real quick, as the Warriors is the only NAI school coming to play in the Northeast Invitational.
Absolutely, and looking at what Midland has done on the year, they've been busy. I mean, looking at their schedule, they got a lot going on here. But we'll just talk about how they actually, like I said, at their home course, they came out on top, and Northeast finished in second. And then their next meet that they played in was the Lawrence Tech Invite. And they finished 14th of 19 schools there, and then the Red Raider Cup in Orange City, Iowa, 5th of 15, and then they make their way here to Norfolk. So I mean, they've had a lot of just solid finishes on the year.
Yeah,
a lot of competition.
A lot of teams. They play in tournaments against like the bigger 4-year schools. So, and they play a lot of teams. You see, looks like 19's been their maximum on the year for teams during tournaments, but they're sitting pretty good. They got that one win at home, which that's kind of to be expected. You're playing at your home course, getting it on done, but you're sitting mid-pack or higher in your other tournaments. You're doing pretty good.
They're right about in that Midland, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. The mid part of the rankings, because I saw on there they had in the tournaments when they had 10 teams playing, they're sitting 5th, 4th, 3rd during those competitions, and they've been a really strong team.
All right, and looking at the last of the 4 teams that are competing with their, I guess, highest level, I know there's 6 teams here and 2 have B teams. Yeah. So, but looking at the last team that has their A-tier team out there is SCC, and they also competed at the Howl at the Hill that Northeast ended up winning. So, okay. What do you think that means to kind of for Northeast to have seen their opponent a little bit and play with them and know that they finished in first as a team there?
It's got to give you confidence, and it's a pretty interesting atmosphere, especially this golf is kind of the one sport that is just completely different from the rest of the sports we cover. You're going to be talking to your opponents the whole time, like having conversation with them throughout the day. You're going to be out there with them for 2-3 hours, and squads of 4 going around this golf course. And so it's kind of more of a mental toughness thing, and it's got to give them a little confidence. You got to put on your poker face a little bit when you're out there, but I think they got to feel good heading into today's tournament.
Absolutely. And here's the plan for today's tournament as we are going to get ready to kind of go out and interview some players, talk to some players from each of the schools. Really, is kind of the plan here. Maybe gather some information from the coaches, and we're gonna film different holes, different players shooting, and we're just gonna put a whole production together here and upload it. And for the viewers and you guys, if you want to check it out and see how the golfers compete here at the North Fork Country Club and at the Northeast Invite in 2022, well, you're welcome to stick around and find out. Irvin Doman of Hawk TV here with Coach Burnt of Northeast Community College. We're going to get his thoughts on his home invitational here today. How you feeling?
Good. The team's been playing well. It's going to be a little tough. Jordan Hart usually is in our lineup. He's a number 3 guy, and he's got some back issues right now. But, I mean, they know the course well, and this is the conditions we've had all spring. So,
Yeah, it's pretty windy out here today, but like you said, you've been battling it all spring. And what 5 golfers are in the rotation today for you?
it's Tai is number 1, and then Cody Sander, and then Rory Peck, Santiago Valdez, and Everett Carroll was our 5 guy today.
Okay, awesome. And you've had a chance to see a few of these teams in competition earlier, if not all of them by chance. I guess I'm not super sure on that one, but what have you seen from each of the teams here that throughout the year?
We've seen them all year, and they've played well. Southeast has played really well, and Midland has too. In fact, we ended up in a playoff against them in the intercollegiate, so they're a good team. They'll play well.
All right, well, best of luck today, and we'll be covering all the holes out here today in the North Fork Country Club for the Northeast Invitational. Welcome back. Irvin Doman here with Cody Sander. He's wrapping up his day here at the Northeast Invitational. And just quick thoughts on how your day went.
It was really rough. Personally, I'm kind of in a slump, but I tried to fight as best as I could. Weather's been really crummy all spring, a lot of wind, so I'm disappointed, but I just got to get back to work and hopefully find something and be able to play with it. We got regionals up next, and I'd like to perform. Our team would like to get to nationals, and I take it personally, so I want to work hard and start playing better.
Yeah, that's something that Coach Burnt had mentioned when we interviewed him at the start of the day. That weather just hasn't been in your favor all spring, and obviously that affects how you golf. And I know that you really want to golf well. So how do you kind of approach it when the weather's kind of crappy?
Well, it's really mentally taxing to be out here when it's so cold and windy. But I mean, no expectations is my best way to look at it. If I don't expect to play well, which sounds kind of negative, but if I don't expect anything, I just kind of fight it, then I usually play better.
Yeah, I hear you, and we'll be kind of keeping up with players as they come in off the final hole here at the Northeast Invitational. Cody Sander, the first Northeast player to come in for the day, and we'll keep you updated on scores and whatnot throughout the rest of the day. Welcome back here at the Northeast Invitational. Irvin Doman for the Hawk Media Group here. And I have Tai Hymes with me. Finished 6 over on the day, tied for 4th currently as we stand. What were your thoughts on your performance today?
I hit it pretty well, which is something I haven't done this year. I haven't hit it very well. I struggled on the greens today, which is something I have been doing good this year. So it was a little bit of a surprise, but I'm encouraged. I hit it better than I have all year. I just got to keep working on my putter.
Kind of roles reversed there. You hit it well, and
Right.
the greens were a little off today.
Right.
Do you think the weather played a factor? I know your teammate Cody we talked to earlier. He was talking about the weather kind of playing a factor, and your coach mentioned it earlier today as well.
Yeah, it was. The wind for maybe the most wind we played in this year. So that can affect everything. Yeah, maybe a little bit of my putting, but I just didn't feel very comfortable on the greens today. Which, like I said, I don't really know why, but yeah, the wind probably affected that a little bit.
All right, what do you look forward to for the rest of your season? I think Cody said you had regionals coming up. What do you think that'll look like for you?
I'm excited. I think we got a good team. We missed Jordan today. He's our number 3, so we get him back, and I think everybody plays like they can. I think we got a good chance to make some noise coming down the stretch. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
All right, best of luck. We'll keep you updated with the Northeast golfers as they come in after finishing their home invitational here at the North Fork Country Club. Welcome back to the North Fork Country Club as Northeast is wrapping up their home invitational here. Irvin Doman with Ted Bankston. Shot an 85 on the day. Obviously not the performance you were looking for, but there's always something you could take away from it. What were your overall thoughts today on your performance?
Yeah, you know, coach has been telling us all spring and the fall that we need to work on playing in the wind because those are the conditions we get out here a lot. So it's not easy, but you got to find a way to grind out a good score.
And this is a course you play on a lot because, you know, it's your home course. So was there anything different that you felt with the conditions or how the course played?
Yeah, the greens were running a little faster today. Made it tough because most of the courses we played on are still pretty slow from the winter. But yeah, they were rolling good, and it was just something we weren't used to.
All right, and talking to a few of your teammates, are excited for regionals coming up. What are you looking forward to when it comes to that?
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to put together the best team we can to compete down there and hopefully make it to nationals. So.
All right. Well, Ted Bankston, 85 today. We'll look for you to get a better performance next time out on the course. We appreciate you stopping by and giving us an interview.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. As he's really famous here, we'll continue getting players as they come through here at the Norfolk Country Club. Welcome back in. Irvin Doman once again here from the Norfolk Country Club, here with Everett Carroll of the Northeast Golf Team. We'll get your quick thoughts on how you played today. I know you said you had to grind it out. It's one of those tough days out there, but if you want to give us your thoughts.
Well, I played pretty well most of the day. Outside of, honestly, 3 holes, I just kind of blew up and kind of let it get to me. Beyond that, I actually hit the driver pretty well. I putted decent. I think the big thing I need to work on is just wedges.
And when it comes to those 3 holes, how do you weather a storm when you kind of get in a rough patch? Do you just is it like a deep breath collection for you, or how do you kind of get out of a funk like that?
I think the best thing that helps me is just laugh it off. Just like put your clubs away, forget about everything else, and just laugh. Because you just gotta when you're struggling, you don't want a club in your proximity because I tend to throw them. And you just you can't beat yourself up too much. You just gotta, that's how golf is. You're gonna hit bad shots. You're gonna hit good shots. So you just gotta, like I said, you just gotta relax and just laugh it off.
Just gotta move on and go to the next hole kind of mentality.
Yeah.
I like that mentality. And when we talk about your mentality going on into your next meet, I think you got regionals coming up. I keep mentioning this with all the golfers I talk to because I want to get their thoughts on how they're going to approach it. What do you expect when you're going into regionals?
Well, when it comes to any big round, I think the best advice I've got is just treat it like any other round. The best rounds I've had, in practice, and I was just relaxed. And that's how you got to approach the big rounds too, or any round. Just relax, come in, treat it like any other round. Just fall back on what you practiced on. I think that's all you have to really focus on when you go into big tournament rounds like that.
Well, man, you sound like a coach already. You should be coaching these guys. That's some solid advice there. Just take it like any other round. Once again, Everett Carroll stopping by, talking with us after his day is done here at the Norfolk Country Club at the Northeast Invitational. We'll have more coming up here on Hawk TV. And we're back here, Irvin Doman with Braxton Lin, and we're going to get his thoughts on how his golfing day went here. He said it was a little rough, but, that's been the description every golfer has given me as they've come through here at the end. So I'll let him give his thoughts.
Weather was not ideal for golf. You get there and you got to grit your teeth through it and do what you can to shoot a decent number. And I didn't think I hit the ball all that bad. I don't, not quite comfortable playing in this wind yet, but I think a few more rounds in there, I think we'll be comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best weather for getting camera shots either. You get camera shots all shaky and stuff, but I mean, you got to weather through the storm, and a lot of the teammates here for Northeast have done that, and they finished their day not the best way, but I think finishing is a big part of things. And we heard Tiger mentioned earlier, and Tiger's a big guy on finishing, even when during the Masters, he didn't shoot the best. I think he finished tied for 48th or something like that, but he was just happy to finish. So what does it mean for you to maybe not have your best day, but to come through and finish strong?
Yeah, it means a lot. I think it shows grit. I think it shows the ability to step up and hit the shots when you need to hit the shots. Coming down the stretch, I've always been told that your last 3 holes are more important than your first 3, so you got to figure it out from there.
All right, and where do you go from here in competition? What do you look forward to in your next meet?
I look forward to competing. I think stepping up to the plate and representing Northeast and trying to get a win.
That's a great answer. I love that. And Braxton Lin stopping by and talking with me, and we'll keep the interviews coming here from the Norfolk Country Club at the Northeast Invite. And we're back here, Irvin Doman with Hawk Media once again, and we got Riley Keane with us this time. And I guess I didn't even get a chance to ask you how your day went before we rolled this interview. So why don't you give me your synopsis of your day?
I started off really well. I made a lot of putts early, but then towards the end it tapered off a little bit. Overall, not too bad in this wind. Hit a lot of good shots. I'm really proud of how I played. I think I shot 79, so I don't know where that puts me, but it wasn't too bad. It was fun.
Hey, that's kind of an answer I love to hear, where you're just like, I don't know where 79 puts me. I like to focus on the score sometimes, but I just want to go out there and do the best I can. And a 79, I think, puts you in a pretty good position. So, I've been asking everyone as they came in how the weather affected them. You said you played pretty well to your expectations. Do you think the weather kind of impacted that at all?
A little bit, not much. It's just I'm so used to it by now. We just play in the spring all the time. So I mean, I always like to win because I always just play better just because I focus up a little bit more and I just take a lot more time with it.
Yeah, that's an interesting answer. That makes you focus a little more on how you're hitting and your form and your technique when you're going into it. And speaking of going into things, and you're going into the final stretch here of your season, what do you expect coming up in your in regionals and whatnot?
I know we're ranked pretty high, and I just want to go out there and shoot the best score for my team. I mean, it's never about me when I play golf. It's always about putting up a good number for the team, and I think we have a really good shot to make it. And we'll see what happens. Where the cards fall, they fall.
All right, awesome. We're going to keep them rolling here. Riley Keane stopping by, talking with me. Nice to meet you, too. And we'll keep it rolling as we'll have more from the final golfers coming in for Northeast here at the Northeast Invite. And we are back here, Irvin Doman of the Hawk Media Group here with Jake Schreier. I was joking with him about his last name. Sometimes names come hard here in the broadcasting industry. And I'm going to, normally my first question is how you golfed, but apparently you had an interesting drive on 10. Tell me about that.
Well, I had an interesting drive on 10. I wasn't playing too bad. I go into 10, easy hole on the course, but it doesn't fit my eye because I hit a draw. And I'm lining up. The drive should just go perfect. It was going to be perfect. I clipped a tree, center about 40 yards left. It was only like a 20-yard drive. Then I was sitting right behind a tree and ended up making triple. All because of a bad drive.
So here's the thing. We got to go back about 100 years into the past and find out who planted that tree and tell them not to plant that tree right there. That's kind of what we got to do.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's dig them out of the grave.
Yeah, it's just, come on, move the tree over about 20 feet. No, but just an overall thoughts on your day.
The day, the conditions were like a lot better than I was thinking. I just had some bad holes, some doubles that should have been bogeys. I had a bad triple on 10. I just had a bad stretch of holes on the front 9 that I felt like I should have made par but made bogey. Should have made birdie but made par, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, where you just miss by one stroke and you're just off. But, did it improve throughout the day on the back 9 then is what you're saying?
It was kind of consistent all day. I hit some good shots, hit some bad shots, putted okay, but yeah, average round.
Average round. Well, I mean, I guess that's better than below average round.
Probably below average round.
No, final thought here from you is you're heading into regionals here. What are your thoughts on the team and your performance heading into that?
Well, I think the team's good. We got to compete well when we head down there. It's just another tournament, and hopefully we get there and perform.
All right, well, quick, simple thoughts and right to the point. Got to get there and perform from Jake Schreier here for the Northeast Golf Team. Irvin Doman, once again, we're going to keep the interviews rolling. Going to get you the final thoughts here from the Northeast golfers as they come in on the Northeast Invite. And we are back here on Hawk TV. Irvin Doman, once again, I'm going to be talking to Santiago Valdez here for the Northeast Golf Team. Thoughts on your golf performance today?
Really bad. I wasn't hitting the ball very good. The wind was tough. The fairways weren't great. We played the ball down. I mean, that was a bad call. But it was, that's golf, You have bad days and good days. So today was a bad day for sure. So
leaves room for improvement, though. That's the good thing. You look at the positive side on these things, and don't feel like you're alone. A lot of golfers that I've talked to today are like, this weather has just been horrific to play, and it's been windy all spring. And that's something even your coach had mentioned to me when we talked to him before the whole event. He was like, we just have to be prepared to play in some, windy spring weather, and that's just all you've seen all year. So looking forward to regionals here coming up. What do you expect from your team and your golf performance moving forward?
Well, I expect to make it to the national team. I think we have a pretty good team to make it to nationals. I think we can make it and fight for the title in nationals. So I'll keep working, training, and yeah, get used to this weather because it's gonna be like this. So yeah.
All right, well, big visions here from Santiago Valdez of the Northeast Golf Team and for the whole team in general. Not just him. He thinks they can get it done as a whole team. And we'll keep the interviews flowing for you guys here on Hawk TV. I think we still have Riley Peck to come in. I think that might be the last one, so we'll get him up when he comes through here. Devin Doman reporting from the Norfolk Country Club. Welcome back in. Devin Doman here with Riley Peck, and shot a 77 on the day. We're just going to get into your overall thoughts on your performance and how today went.
I played solid. I was a little sloppy on 5, 6, and 7, but other than that, I played pretty solid. Mostly pars, a couple birdies.
So when it got to that 5, 6, and 7 run, was that just like a rough patch in that stretch, or are those tough holes to play here, or why were those so rough for you?
5, I 3-putted. 6 and 7, those were playing tough into the wind. 6, honestly I had a good drive, but made a mess of it around the green, and then 7 did not get up and down from my par, but.
No, you made it work. You finished with a 77. That's a pretty good score on the day. I'm not exactly sure where that puts you on the official scorecard off the top of my head, but, we're finished here at the Norfolk Invite for Northeast here. And just, moving on to regionals coming up, what do you expect from your team and your performance coming up there?
I know we have a solid team. We're talented. If we go out and we play solid golf like we have been this past season, I think we're going to be fine.
And you hear that same sentiment. I've talked to pretty much every Northeast golfer that's kind of came through out, as after they finished today. And it's been, the team is very solid. If we golf the way we can, we're going to be very, very good at regionals and compete really well. And I think that's kind of what we've seen throughout the season. I think you guys are still ranked 11th. You're just coming off a first at the Howells at the Hill or in Lincoln there. And so, it's been an impressive season so far, and you think you had a really great day.
Well, thank you.
You bet. And we're going to get Coach for the Northeast Hawks coming up here, and then I think we're going to end the day off. We might have the winner of the invite as well come on and talk to us, and we'll keep it rolling here at the Norfolk Country Club at the Northeast Invite.
Try and make this an annual deal, maybe change the date so we get more teams. But third place from Midland, Preston Carboff. We're at 74.
Thank you.
Second place from Midland, John Lepore. And first place for Midland as well, with 72, Ben Unling Kong. And first place with Midland as well. So,
Hold it!
thanks for coming in. Travel safe.
And welcome back in. First place golfer, Ben Eilenkong. It's a complicated name for me to figure out, but I hope I didn't butcher that too much. Finished first place here individually and also part of the Midland team that finished first place as a team. So what does it mean for you to come out and golf the best you can and then for your team to also come away with first place?
I feel good to get my first win since I came to the U.S. And, yeah.
Well, pretty simple answer, but I mean, I'm sure it feels great to get your first win. Did you golf wherever you were? I don't know where you're from, but did you?
I'm from Malaysia.
Malaysia?
Yeah.
And did you golf while you were in Malaysia?
Yeah, I did.
And you're a pretty good golfer too.
Yeah.
Some would say. I mean, I'm just taking first place here in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska, I suppose. And how'd you end up in Midland, and what does it mean to be with a group of guys like that?
So I was at home. When I was at home, Coach emailed me about coming to Midland. So yeah, it was my best offer. Then I just went to Midland.
Well, there you go. You get an email, you go to Midland, and you come to Norfolk, Nebraska, and you come away with first place as an individual and a team. Ben Eilenkong taking away first place for Midland University here. And that's going to wrap up our day. We might get a few closing thoughts from Coach Breen. And the final interview of the day here, Irvin Doman once again working here for Hawk TV, and we have Coach Burnt of Northeast here with us. Your team didn't finish in first, but they had I think their A team finished in second and their B team finished in third. If I looked at the scorecard correctly last time I took a peek. How do you feel your golfers performed today?
The tail end of the varsity lineup, I think, played pretty well. We didn't get around and had a tie or Cody, but that's kind of where we struggled all year was the back end of the lineup. So I was glad to see them play well. And Midland's a really good team. We beat them in the fall, but that was a different team, and they're pretty solid. So I wasn't too upset to get second.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier in our first interview of the day before everything got underway that you had a playoff with them in earlier invite this year, and it shows how good they are. And I had a chance to talk with the individual winner, Ben, and he had some interesting thoughts. And I think it was his first win since coming to the U.S. And you mentioned how you thought Ty and Cody kind of struggled, and those are two of your some of your solid golfers. How does it feel to have the bottom end kind of pick up that slack if some of your top guys struggle after they kind of struggled throughout the year?
Well, it's encouraging because I don't think they're gonna, I think that was kind of an anomaly for Cody to play that bad. So I don't think that's something that consistently need to worry about. It's just encouraging to see those bottom guys play better for sure.
Yeah, and coming up, I was asking all of them as they came through how they felt about going into regionals. What are your overall thoughts as the coach of this team, and how you think regionals are going to go?
I don't know. We've never seen the course. We've kind of looked online and done what we can there, but I think we got a pretty good shot to get through if we play well. If we don't, we won't, obviously. But I think this team has a lot of potential, and we've seen it at times. But if we go there and play well, we'll make it.
And that's kind of the same sentiment all of your players share. It's like if we golf the best we can and to our abilities, we're going to be just fine when we head over to regionals. And ending the day here, Coach Burnt, our final interview. Congratulations. I know it wasn't the day you wanted. You finished in second and third, but that's still a pretty good day considering the competition that was out here. So.
Yep.
Welcome in here to the Norfolk Country Club. We're in the clubhouse here getting ready to wrap up our day. You heard from really all the golfers and even the coach and the winner of the whole tournament as well, just before we sit here. And we got the final kind of scorecard here, and we're going to get into that. But, you got a chance to see some good golf today. What were your overall thoughts on the day?
Oh, it was a cold one out there. It was a windy day. This is not your typical golfing weather that we had today. So I know it's something that we expect here from being Nebraska natives. You're going to hear wind, you're going to feel cold. It's still springtime, but I think that was the name of the game today. Weather.
And I mean, you're not wrong. As you heard in all those interviews, weather was pretty much mentioned in every single one of them. Whether it was Coach Burnt to start the day and Coach Burnt to end the day, I think we mentioned weather and how that played a factor. And just taking a look at the scorecard, Ben Ayn Lakong, and that's an interesting name, but he's from Malaysia. You heard from him. He finishes the day even with a 72. Taking first place for Midland, and also Midland took first place as a team as well. So Midland had a very strong day today.
Yeah, and we were able to hear from it. Midland is just a super dominant team. They beat us at their home tournament a couple weeks back in Fremont, and they're able to come up here and get it done as well. I think that shows how strong they are, and they're going to probably take that into their conference. It's just really weird. They're in the NAIA, and we're in the NJCAA. They're going to take that into the GPAC, and we take our competition heading into regionals in the ICCAC.
Yeah, so two separate conferences there, and we're going to take a peek at who finished in 5th and 6th. We had Rory Peck and then Tai Hymes. Peck with a +5, and then Hymes with a +6 on the day. And you heard my interview with them earlier. Your overall thoughts on how they golfed and how they finished their day?
I'm going to take in perspective from what Coach Burnt had to say about this team. The back half of this rotation played very strong on the A team, and that hasn't been there consistently throughout the year. It's usually just been Hymes just leading out front, and Everett as well, who just do the heavy lifting. But seeing Rory Peck out there and seeing this last three in the order do really good, I think they're going to take that into regionals.
Yeah, and you mentioned Carroll. He finished tied for 15th plus 10 on the day. Then looking at Ted Bankston, he was plus 13 on the day. And then the final golfer for Northeast would have been Cody Sander, who was plus 14 on the day. And you heard how Cody just seemed a little. He knew he had an off day. We'll put it that way. He had an off day, and he knew that he could have golfed better, but weather played a factor in that. With those last three that I mentioned, Carroll, Bankston, and Sander, what were your thoughts on those guys?
Yeah, it's we wanted to get you guys content, but sometimes it's hard to interview people when they have frustrating days like that because they don't want to explain it because why would you? You had a off day, and and I feel like you can tell the emotion was coming out even more just because this is the home tournament. This is the Northeast Invitational. You can tell he was really frustrated with himself after that performance, and hopefully he takes that into the next tournament.
He knows what he's capable of. He's a good golfer. He's been stellar all year for this pretty stellar whole group for Northeast. And even the B team did well today. In I believe the top three slots, Midland won, and then Northeast A team took second, and then the Northeast B team outclassed the Southeast CC, and then CCC, and
Midland had their other B team there as well.
Yeah, so they performed really well on both sides for Northeast. Any closing thoughts before I wrap it up here?
This golf team is really strong. They're going to be heading into regionals here in I think it's a couple weeks from now. So hopefully they can take the momentum that they had from this tournament, just try to get anything they can build out of it. And I know Coach Burnt, it was kind of crazy. All the players, you could tell they were really optimistic, but Coach Burnt had a little bit of hesitation when he's talking about regionals. He's talking about the course. They've never been there before. So that's going to be really big considerations. But with how confident this team is, you can tell even after a loss, listening to them discuss the scores that they had and all the interviews we had some fun moments during that as well. They're such a positive bunch, and I think that's what they're going to take out of this tournament, just some positivity.
That's some great insight there from Connor. And we're going to wrap it up here. Once again, it has been an absolute pleasure to kind of put together this little production, get interviews, get B-roll.
First time we've been out here at the golf tournament.
Yeah, it's something that we just kind of decided to throw together and see what we could create. We'd love to maybe do it live one time, but that takes a lot of work and a lot of equipment. So that might be way down the future. But it's been an absolute pleasure for Devin Doman and Connor Luby. This has been the Northeast Invite at the North Fork Country Club.